Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar dedicated to odor testing of hygiene products. I'm Marine Douguet. I'm a sensory and molecular analysis consultant at SenseNet France, and I will be hosting this session today. Do not hesitate to submit your questions or comments through the chat feature in the bottom right corner of the screen. I will provide you an answer by email after this webinar. At the end of the session, you will find my contact details. And I will also provide a link to our website where you can book a free exchange session with one of our product testing experts to discuss more in details your need around odor-related testing. After a short introduction of the SenseNet company, I'm going to explain you why odor is a key topic for the incontinence and femcare industries. I will then present you the most common sensory and molecular techniques which are used to evaluate and optimize odor properties and performances of hygiene products. The last part of the presentation will be dedicated to concrete case studies we conducted at SenseNet on incontinence and femcare products and materials. SenseNet is part of the OdorNet Group. The OdorNet Group is the largest odor measurement consultancy in the world, with almost 40 years of experience and practical knowledge resulting from thousands of studies in all relevant sectors. The SenseNet brand, created in 2018, is fully dedicated to odor evaluation of products and materials. SenseNet is a global company with offices and laboratories in Europe, India, and Brazil. Thanks to its deep expertise in sensory and molecular analysis, SenseNet helps companies to improve the sensory attributes and substantiate claims on their consumer products and materials, as well as to unravel and understand the molecular origin and composition of odors. Disposable hygiene products aim to efficiently absorb body fluids such as urine or menstrual blood. Consumer requirements, however, go beyond efficient protection associated with liquid absorption and storage. Wearing comfort is, for example, also a key asset for products of this category. Hygiene articles are thus more and more high-tech products, being more and more comfortable, thinner, and absorbent, and providing more and more functional performances like odor control solutions. Odor is indeed a very important topic for incontinence and femcare sectors, because inherent product odor before use should be as low as possible to avoid consumer complaints, especially for baby diapers. But also because odor control all along the wearing period significantly contributes to consumer comfort, confidence, and satisfaction. Today, consumers are more and more looking for chemical-free and natural products. They often associate product inherent odor with the presence of harmful chemicals. To meet consumer needs and expectations, inherent hygiene products odor should be as low as possible. Incontinence and femcare products are generally made of a fluid permeable top sheet, an absorbent core, and a fluid impermeable back sheet. Different types of materials like superabsorbent polymers, elastics, adhesives, non-woven are used to manufacture and assemble those different layers. Each of those individual materials can participate to the overall inherent product odor. Understanding odor origin is the key to optimize product composition and manufacturing process, and to reduce product inherent odor before use. In the recent years, more and more hygiene articles have been incorporating odor control technologies to neutralize or mask the malodors related to urine, menstrual blood, or other body exudates which can be captured by the absorbent hygiene articles. Body fluid malodor compounds originates from different sources. Malodorous compounds may already be present in body fluid, but they can also be generated by chemical reaction or degradation after contact with body resident flora for extended periods of time. Typical compounds responsible for urine malodor are nitrogen-containing molecules, especially ammonia, but also trimethylamine and indole, and sulfur-containing compounds like hydrogen sulfide, DMDS, or methanethiol. Such odorous molecules are byproducts of microbial transformation of urine compounds. As for odors resulting from menstrual blood or vaginal secretions, we can cite this epoxydecenal isomer, which is responsible for the metallic odor of blood. Fatty acids and amines are also present in those secretions. Odor control solutions generally rely on physical absorption of malodorous compounds on the surface of porous materials, chemical reactions like oxidation or condensation reactions to break down malodorous compounds, antibacterial to hinder the growth of bacteria responsible for producing odors, or masking fragrances to cover malodorous compound smell. SenseNet supports industrials in the evaluation of the effectiveness and long-lasting of their products and technologies for robust odor control claim substantiation. Let's see now the different methodologies available to measure odor properties of hygiene products. Before talking about odor analysis techniques, it is important to keep in mind that odor sampling is a first case step in odor study protocol design. The objective is to define a protocol which is as close as possible to product real use conditions. SenseNet adapts to each project objective and provides tailored sampling protocols to answer clients' exact need. SenseNet experts will help you to select the most appropriate protocol to build an efficient odor sampling strategy. The protocol will be different if you wish to assess odor of a finished product or of a raw material, or if you are looking for product inherent odor evaluation or for odor control efficacy assessment. To do so, SenseNet has different sampling tools available. It is, for example, possible to ask panelists to directly smell the hygiene article or raw material. We can also generate the headspace of the sample using a container like cellophane bag or a microchamber. This headspace can then be captured on Tenax Sorbent tubes for subsequent molecular analysis or directly presented to panelists for sensory evaluation using a tool called PureSniff, which allows standard presentation, making flow, volume, and presentation time identical between all the panelists and avoiding dilution effects. For projects related to odor control efficacy evaluation, working with real malodors is not ideal, as body malodors vary from one individual to another and depends on external factors like diet, health, stress. Such variability would limit the repeatability of the experiments, leading to non-comparable results for studies conducted at different times. To suppress this variability factor, we usually work with synthetic malodor mixtures of urine or menstrual blood to standardize the experiments. To do so, we mix together the major malodorous compounds of the targeted malodor. Those compounds can be identified using scientific literature, standards, or our internal library resulting from years of working experience on malodors. We can produce this way synthetic mixtures of urine-like or menstrual blood-like odor. Those malodorous blends can then be deposited in standardized conditions on the hygiene articles on which the odor control efficacy is to be assessed. After defining the proper sampling protocol, it is important to select the best analysis technique to evaluate sample odor properties. To do so, SenseNet proposes both sensory and molecular analysis methodologies. Let's have a look first at the different sensory methods available. Typical odor parameters assessed through sensory analysis are odor concentration, intensity, hedonic tone, and odor description. Odor concentration is measured using olfactometers and 4 to 6 selected sniffers according to EN 13725 standard. This methodology relies on the evaluation of various samples dilutions to determine at which concentration panelists can perceive the odor. We start with very diluted samples where panelists cannot distinguish samples from neutral air and move towards less and less diluted samples where the panelists indicate at which dilution they start to detect sample odor. The result is expressed in odor units, given that 1 odor unit is the amount of odorant that, when evaporated into 1 cubic meter of neutral gas in standard condition, is detected by 50% of the panelists. A second parameter very often used to evaluate odors is odor intensity. This parameter corresponds to odor threats. According to VDI 3882 standard, it is measured using at least 8 panelists. Those panelists are selected according to EN 13725 standard and trained on a N-butanol reference scale. Intensity rating is made according to a structure scale ranging from 0, not perceptible odor, to 6, extremely strong odor. An odor sample can also be characterized by its hedonic tone, meaning its pleasant or unpleasant character. According to VDI 3882 standard, it is commonly evaluated using at least 15 naive panelists on a scale ranging from -4, extremely unpleasant odor, to +4, extremely pleasant odor. Such parameter really depends on people's past experience and culture. This is why no training is delivered to panelists on this attribute. The last parameter very often used to assess samples' odor is odor description. Describing an odor using words is a very difficult exercise for humans. This is why there is a need for a very standardized approach using objective references and descriptors. SenseNet's odor description framework contains about 50 descriptors which encompass a large range of products and materials sectors. Each descriptor is associated with an odorous monocompound used as a reference molecule for panelists' training. Those descriptors are classified into different odor categories like fatty, woody, fruity. Such methodology allows odor characterization with a common and objective lexicon. To describe samples' odor, panelists cite the descriptor or references molecules which are closer to the smelled odor and rate their respective intensity to provide a complete olfactory profile. To assess those different parameters using those standardized scales and methods, SenseNet has a panel of 20 panelists. Our panelists follow a strict selection and training process. After selection and initial training, they receive an additional intensive training to recognize and describe common odors according to our internal framework and methodology. Panel performances are maintained through performances monitoring and regular additional trainings. Additionally to sensory analysis techniques, molecular analysis provides key insight into odor characterization. SenseNet is equipped with gas chromatograph coupled with time-of-flight mass spectrometry. Molecular evaluation is used to separate, identify, and quantify all the volatile compounds present in the headspace of gaseous, liquid, or solid products. Using our internal library of odor threshold values and comparing with compound concentration in the sample, we can identify sample odor-relevant compounds. An even more precise technique is GC sniffing. This method, in addition to using chemical detector to determine the molecular identity, uses an olfactory detector, making it possible to find out which compounds smell and what they smell like, and which ones don't. Please refer to our webinar Insights into GC Sniffing Analysis for more details on this technique. After this presentation of commonly used odor testing methodologies, let's now have a look at concrete case studies conducted by SenseNet to answer clients' needs. The first case study we are going to review is related to hygiene products' inherent odor evaluation, which, as explained previously, should be as low as possible. This first project has been conducted for a client who developed eco-friendly diapers and wanted to position its new product against well-established benchmarks. To answer our client needs, we proposed a sampling strategy based on headspace generation in nalofan bags. Both sensory and molecular analyses have been conducted on the headspace generated for each sample. Sensory analyses have been performed by a panel of 8 selected and trained panelists who evaluated intensity, hedonic tone, as well as odor description. Gaseous samples have been presented to the panelists using our PureSniff tool. Additional GC sniffing analyses have been conducted to understand the chemicals responsible for product inherent odor and compare their concentration from one sample to another. To do so, headspace samples have been captured on Tenax sorbent tubes using a manual pump. The sensory profile obtained showed that the overall odor intensity of the test sample was lower compared to the two other benchmarks studied. As for odor description, the test sample has been rated with lower plastic polymer, phenolic, hydrocarbon solvent, and pungent notes compared to the two other benchmarks. Additional GC sniffing analyses have been conducted to identify the molecules present in the sample which participates to its odor. From those molecular analyses, it was possible to get the list of the smells detected and described by the operators, and to correlate them with the compounds identified by GCMS. For confidentiality reasons, we cannot display too much details about those results. You can anyway see from the GC sniffing sensory profile obtained that the sum of intensities of the plastic, phenolic, chemicals, and pungent families was lower for test sample compared to the two other benchmarks. Finally, the combination of sensory and molecular analyses allowed the determination of the chemicals responsible for diapers odor, as well as the comparison and positioning of clients' product against benchmarks. The other type of project we commonly conduct for the hygiene industry is related to odor control claims. In the second case study, we show the example of diapers treated with an absorbent powder to control urine malodor. The experimental plan was designed to compare one diaper treated with the powder with the corresponding untreated diaper. To do so, a defined quantity of synthetic urine has been deposited on diaper samples. Those samples have then been introduced in naloxone bags filled with a defined volume of synthetic air. Naloxone bags have then been stored in oven at 34 degrees for 2, 4, and 8 hours to follow odor evolution with time. Olfactometric analyses have been conducted on the headspace generated for each sample at each evaluation timing. Ammonia being one of the major odorants in urine, additional ammonia concentration measurements have been performed over time. The results obtained are displayed on this slide. You can see on the first graph that the odor concentration was lower for the treated diaper compared to the untreated one, whatever the evaluation timing. The odor abatement was about 50%. On the second graph, you can see the concentration of ammonia detected in the untreated sample was of 5 ppm just after urine deposition on the diaper and decreased to 3 ppm 8 hours after storage in oven. On the opposite, no ammonia has been detected in the treated diaper sample, whatever the evaluation timing. The results of this study helped the client to support odor reduction claims for incontinence products. Similar projects can be conducted on femcare products like sanitary napkins and tampons or menstrual panties. It is also possible to evaluate fragrance products. In such case, panelists can rate both the malodor intensity and the fragrance intensity over time to study products' odor masking efficacy and fragrance longevity. We saw in this webinar that both sensory and molecular analysis can provide useful information to identify and quantify the chemicals responsible for product odor before use, as well as to generate robust scientific data for odor control claim substantiation. Thanks to its expertise in both sensory and molecular analysis, SenseNet can support you in the development of your incontinence and femcare products, from raw material selection and claim substantiation to positioning against benchmarks. We're now coming to the end of this webinar. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact us by email or by phone. You can also book a free session with one of our consultants. Please go on our website to register to one of the 15-minute slots for an exchange in English, French, Spanish, or even Portuguese. You can also visit our social networks to follow our news and events. Thank you for your attention and participation. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Looking forward to exchange with you very soon. I wish you an excellent end of day.